party started.
High def with the professional.
Greasy Says.
Oi. Tell me, where is the chicken shop? Huh? Hungry. I need some thighs, some breasts. I need some fries and some zest. So tell me, where is the chicken shop? Hey, Gab. Where is the chicken shop? Looking for Amelia. Looking for H. It's about that time for grime. So tell me, where is the chicken shop? Huh? Where is the chicken shop?
What up, Greasy people? It's your boy Greasy once again, aka M-Cue. And this is Greasy Says. This is my show about being a brown game developer in the US of A, in the world. From humble beginnings, scratched and scraggled and cajoled my way to the top. I wouldn't even say the top, but higher than where I was. And that's what really matters, right? Yeah, on Greasy Says, we talk about the gaming industry. I talk about shit going on in the news of games. I talk about what it's like to make games. And it's for people out there who are either in the gaming industry or wanting to get into the gaming industry or curious or just want to hear a motherfucker talk and try to be funny for half an hour every couple weeks here on Greasy Says. That's my job.
Where is the chicken shop?
Chicken shops, man. Is chicken shops just a UK thing? Like, I feel like everywhere I have a KFC. Like where I come from, back in Trini, KFC is God. KFC is gold. KFC is more valuable than the local currency. For real. If you have a box of KFC, you might be able, you might get a wine. You might get your D rolled. You know what I mean? You have a 6-piece, and you might be able to get into the club that night. Just get out, do the 6-piece. So,
where is the chicken shop?
But like chicken shops in the UK are different. They always like ran by like, you know, Pakistani people or like Indian people basically. And they're everywhere, and all they serve is chicken and chips. Fries as they're called in America, but everywhere else in the fucking world is chips. It's fucking chips. Don't get ahead of yourselves. Don't try to be all fancy with your French fries. It's fucking chips. Stupid.
Tell me, where is the chicken shop?
Greasy people, welcome back to another episode of Greasy Says. Thanks for being with me. This episode is actually the halfway point between season 2. Believe it or not, we're here already. So I'm gonna be taking some time off after this episode and just enjoying my fucking summer, doing shit that I want to do. Hopefully hanging out with a kid who isn't sick again. My kid is sick again. He's always sick. It's just the way it goes. It's been a rough couple weeks, yo. Let me tell you, man. You see when your kid like is vomiting and shit, and then you gotta basically starve the little dude because you know you if he's throwing up, you can't be giving him a bunch of food because you're just gonna throw the shit up. You can't give him a bunch of fluids. He's just gonna throw the shit up. So you gotta go like a whole day, basically starving your kid, giving him just popsicles and like Pedialyte for a whole day. And little man, he don't understand what's going on. He don't know why he gotta be starved. He's just bummed out. He's just sad. He's weak. He's crying all the time because he's like, why the fuck why I can't have no goldfish? Why I can't have no Cheez-Its? Why I can't have those crackers over there? Why can't I have some of that pasta? He don't get it. He just want to eat it. I felt terrible, man. It was rough on both me and my wife. I can't believe hopefully we outside of the woods on this one. We coming out of the woods, but we still in the middle of it. So fucking send vibes my way, man. Positive vibes only. Send them my way. Cause we need them over here. Let's get into some shit I've been doing. I was watching. All right, everybody knows that the new Love, Death, and Robots season is out. The 3rd season. Arguably the best season yet. I had a hard time just watching one of them joints. I would like watch 2 or 3 a night and just be like in awe of Blur Studios and all those studios that are cranking out this work. It's insane. But my favorite episode in season 3 was the one called Bad Traveling. I'm gonna tell you what it's about because I would ruin it. But the combination of the art style, the animation, the vibe, the storytelling, and the voice acting. That one stole the show for me. I still think about that shit all the time. Fantastic. If you only have time for one episode to watch on season 3 of Love, Death, and Robots, make sure you watch Bad Traveling. Just watch that shit first. You don't have to watch the shit in order. You can watch it out of order, but start with that one. Highly recommend it. What was your favorite season, episode, whatever? Reach out to me, Greasy Says, on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Let me know what your thoughts are. So I was watching the NBA Finals. So I do this thing, right, where I hate watching network TV. I fucking hate it. It's the worst shit ever. I hate commercials. Commercials are fucking stupid. I hate, like, when I watch commercials, I feel like I'm interacting with all the dumbasses out there in the universe. All the fucking bottom feeders. I feel like I'm in a bar with them when I'm watching these commercials. They're so fucking vacant and so basic that I feel like I'm losing my mind. I feel like I'm getting dumber every time I watch them. So what I do is I tape the shit and I just fly through a game. Like, a game takes me like 30 minutes to watch, or like 45 minutes, the real time it should take to watch a game, instead of 2 hours with all the commercials and shit. Anyway, that's not the point. I was watching the finals and I came to my realization. The American national anthem is the only anthem in the whole fucking world that you could change into a goddamn solo. You could take the American anthem and solo on that shit for 30 minutes straight, and nobody would bat an eye. Everybody would just be sitting there like, wow, this motherfucker doing runs on this anthem. What? Why? Why do we always have to do all the crazy runs and solos and all this bullshit? It's an anthem. Sing it, shut the fuck up, and get out. We trying to do something else. Anytime the American national anthem is played or sung, is only because we trying to do something else. The shit is just in the way of us getting to the next thing. Watching a game, watching a fucking, I don't know, fighter jets fly over your fucking redneck state. Whatever the fuck you need to do, the anthem is your gateway of getting there. So why are you making this shit last 20 minutes? It's pointless. We all know you could sing. You wouldn't be up there if you couldn't sing your ass off. You wouldn't be up there if you can't play the guitar like a fucking G. We know that. Just play a tasteful anthem and get the fuck off. I want to see a national anthem. I want to see somebody make the American national anthem last so fucking long that somebody like pays off their credit card. I want them to play that shit so long that like a Karen goes to therapy and figures out why she hates black people so much. That's how long I want the anthem to be. Just to prove a point, just to see how long you would actually stand listening to this long ass fucking anthem. So stupid. So stupid. Speaking of long ass songs and songs in general, the Grammys, my wife sent me this, and then I heard about it on an article, podcast or some shit later. The Grammys added video game soundtracks to the awards. Fucking finally. Round of applause. Round of applause. About fucking time. Should have been here like a decade ago. But at least we here now. We here now. And it's only a matter of time before it branches off to what kind of game was it? What kind of soundtrack was it for a game? Blah, blah, blah. Was it a casual game? Blah, blah, blah. So Grammys are getting in on the action. Part of me thinks it's because Hans Zimmer and all of these big shot fucking composers who run around in Hollywood and just take up all the fucking jobs. It's because they're involved in these games and they're writing the Call of Duty soundtracks and all this other bullshit. So they want to get recognition and extra money by being recognized by the Grammys for these soundtracks. If it was just my fucking black ass and all of my buddies who are composers and sound designers, they wouldn't give a fuck. They wouldn't give a fuck. It's only because they probably have a couple of heads who are really high up in the film industry, who are in the gaming industry and want that connection and want that recognition for their game soundtrack accomplishments. So I call bullshit on all of y'all. Bullshit.
Hey, need some wing, need some breasts. Hey, need some chips, I need some zest. Hey, tell me, where is the chicken shop? Where is the chicken shop? Hey, need some thighs, need some wings, yeah. Need some high, all those things, yeah. Where is the chicken shop?
Are you visiting the chicken shop in your area? I hope you are. If there's a chicken shop in your area, go visit that shit. You never know, you might find a really good spot to eat some chicken. They have a chicken shop near me. It's the worst fucking chicken shop. The shit is called, I can't remember. I'm not gonna blow up their spot and say who they are, but it's the worst goddamn chicken shop. This shit is greasy and moist and fucking like soggy at the same time. It's like, how the fuck you fry up this chicken so greasy, but the shit still feel raw? Like it's nasty. Fries all soggy and shit. I'm never going back to that fucking chicken shop. I need a new chicken shop in my life. But this week on Greasy Says, before I take off for the summer, I'm gonna go back to my roots. I wanna talk to my peoples out there, my original peoples, where I come from. So let's get into it. Remember, you could always hit me up on social media if you wanna chat, if you wanna give me ideas, if you wanna tell me my show sucks, if you wanna tell me about a dope chicken shop, reach out to me. TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook under the name Greasy Says. And I'm on Twitter under the name M-Cue, M-C-U-E. And you can check out my music under M-Cue on Spotify, Bandcamp, Soundcloud. And tell your friends about Greasy Says, the greatest video game podcast on the planet. Bar none. Ask anybody that listens to it. They'll tell you the same thing.
Today's key is
Trini man, Trini man, Trini man, Trini man. I hear you wanna go home again, but you can never go home again. No, no, no. Trini girl, Trini girl, Trini girl, Trini girl. You know you wanna go home again, but who wants to go home? Hey, Trini man, Trini man, Trini man, Trini man. I know you wanna go home again, but you can never go home again. Trini girl, Trini girl, Trini girl, Trini girl. Hey, you wanna go home again, but make sure you bring all your friends. Hey.
This one right here is for my Trini people. Hi, I'm Greasy. I come from a land where the trade winds blow and the surf never stops. I come from the land of winding down the place and 3 a.m. doubles. If you don't know what that is, I feel sorry for you. I come from a place where black, brown, and Asian people far outnumber the white population, even though a lot of the same socio-political restraints are still attached to non-white folks. I come from Trinidad. I'm Trini to the bone, even though I've spent most of my life in the US. I'm more of an American than I am a Trini at this point, just based on years, but I can't let go of that unique identity. I can't let go because it serves me so well as a creative person. It serves me so well as a game developer. So consider this a plea, a love letter, and a bit of guidance to all Trinis and all island folks out there. We belong in games. We can excel in games. We can make games the likes of which the world has never seen. Trini people are some of the most creative people I have ever known, bar none. Let me explain a Trini carnival to you folks out here who might not know what the fuck I'm talking about. Carnival is an event that happens in Trinidad in February every year. It's the biggest event of the entire year. People spend entire paychecks on costumes. You know what I'm saying? People start training like athletes or start deluding themselves thoroughly in like November just so they can fit into their costumes that they spend an entire paycheck on. Carnival lasts for 2 days straight. Likely more if you start early, like some people do. That's 2 days straight of partying. 2 days straight of drinking. 2 days straight of being on your feet dancing for miles. It's a fucking marathon. It's such an intense endeavor that we need a third day afterwards just to have a party to come down from the party. We just party on the beach that day instead of on the road. It's very therapeutic, much recovery. What I'm saying is this party lifestyle makes us perfect game devs, right? It's weird, but in game development, you need stamina. You need to be able to keep going even when crunch is intense, even when you're burnt out, even when you're exhausted. You have to keep a positive vibe and keep a go with the flow mentality if you want to make games for years and survive burnout. You have to be able to weather the storm. It's a marathon. And I don't know about you, but everyone I know that loves to party, I mean, like the cat's still up at 3 a.m., even though we stayed up at 3 a.m. the last 3 nights, them motherfuckers, those are the cats who are going to bring the flaming rocket of game dev to a release. Trinis have stamina like no other. Trinis are survivors. And let's not even talk about work ethic. Listen, I don't want to throw stones, but I'm going to. But let's be real. The American educational system below the university level is a pile of dog shit. It's true. If you drop out of high school in America, you're likely doomed in terms of a career. What you've learned up to that point as an American student won't get you far in life. And work ethic is something taught at home in America, not in schools. In Trinidad and a lot of formerly British colonies, which Trinidad is, the education level is much higher. Kids coming out of middle school in the UK, right, are generally much smarter, book smart anyway, than American kids, period. That education system, along with the fact that our ancestors were all slaves and indentured laborers and shit, manifests a strong work ethic and a desire to learn more. Put a Trini kid who's interested in games in front of Unity and see what happens. That motherfucker gonna make Ratchet and Clank like after school and shit. And what about the absolutely incredible off the charts over 9,000 power levels of creativity that flow effortlessly in Trini blood? Think about it. Carnival, Calypso, Soca, Rapso, the Steel Pan, our writers, our directors, our animators. Shout out to Gem GFX doing some crazy shit out there. Our artists. We run the creative shit. We run it. I think about Carnival and people like Peter Minchell, look him up, or Wayne Barkley, look him up. Another mass band leaders that I grew up with. Creating entire narratives, visual executions, industrial design for their carnival bands. Costumes that would cater to each individual mass player's tastes. And then guiding these massive crowds across the city and onto stages to be judged. It's an insane undertaking. Way harder than pulling off a video game. With way less funding and expertise. Trinis make it happen. Which just happens to be the name of an incredible Trini rapper that you should totally check out. And let's not forget that we bring a totally unique world perspective to the table. Our minds are built different, son. if we bring that mindset, that perspective to our game narratives, to our standards and practices, to our problem solving, to our world building, to our characters, to our studio ethos, the list goes on, we can shape this art into something new. They need us in games, and games need us in them, on the cover and on the teams. It's wild. It's like any creative thing that Trini touches, they do well in. I don't know why that is, but it's true. And especially if they leave Trinidad or they leave the islands to go pursue shit in other countries, they always blow up. They always get way ahead. That's not by accident. There's a reason for that. You know what I mean? It's probably because Trinidad is so small and you have to fight so hard to get out that when motherfuckers get out, they grind nonstop 1,000% harder than anybody else. So there's no chance they could fail. But there's there's a spark in there that you can't explain, that I can't explain, about the creativity. We invent shit. We come up with fly shit. We just do. Do you know those sock dudes, like the big, like dancing windsock guys, that you see on like a used car lot or something when they're trying to get you to come in, and it's got like a little fan on the bottom that inflates the guy and he kind of dances around all crazy. That was originally designed, and unfortunately I don't think patented, by a fucking Trinidadian. Peter Minchell, the same guy I was just talking about in my little spiel or whatever. Look that dude up. That dude invented that shit. You know what I mean? And that's used all over the world now. And like, people don't even give it a second thought. How the fuck did he come up with that? You know what I mean? It's crazy. But yo, I just wanted to big up my Trini people. And I know there's people out there in Trinidad. And if you listening to this and you a youngin' or you trying to get in the game, you can do it. You can do it. There's no excuse. All right, you could learn, you could download Unity for free, you could download Unreal for free, and just learn that shit. And with your work ethic, with your grind culture, you're gonna learn some shit. You're gonna excel. And then it's just finding an opportunity or creating an opportunity, which is something that we're very good at. So yo, if you know somebody in games, if you know somebody who's a Trini or an island person who's eager about games, send them my way. Send them my podcast. I'm proof that you could get there. And you could definitely do a whole lot better than me. Trust. Uncle Greasy's Trini children. You are the future of it all. The future of it all. Yeah, I can see it so clearly. You are the future of it all. The future of it all. Since we talking about Trinis and we talking about island people and island boys, motherfucking island boys, what happened to them dudes? They still doing things, or they fall off the planet? They got ridiculed into obscurity. I feel bad for them dudes, man. They didn't have enough friends around them to tell them, yo, dog, nah, dog, that hairstyle ain't working, bro. Nah. Nah, you too rich for that look, bro. But anyway, remember that game, Monkey Island? Everybody remembers that game. It's a classic LucasArts game from back in the 80s. There was a bunch of them in the 80s. They rebooted them again, I think, in the late 90s, early 2000s. Monkey Island is a classic. Guybrush Threepwood is a legendary character. A bumbling pirate wannabe who's hopelessly in love with some chick. I can't remember her name. What was her name, man? What's Guybrush Threepwood's girlfriend's name? I know it was some. It's like a really dumb name. Guybrush Threepwood girlfriend. Oh fuck. Her name is Elaine Marley. Can you tell a bunch of white dudes made this fucking game? Her name's Elaine Marley. Ugh, that's fucking terrible. Anyway, I used to love these fucking games. I would, back in the day, any game you give me, I'ma play it. So this was my exposure to adventure games. Was the Monkey Island series and the King's Quest and the Police Quests and all that motherfucking shits that came on floppy disks. But there was something about, in my young, immature brain, there was something sort of inviting and enticing about a game being set in the islands where I come from. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of games out there about living in the islands or like the island experience or being an islander. And like, in retrospect, Monkey Island has jack shit to do with the islands and nothing to do with island culture. It's just basically some motherfuckers probably went to Jamaica on vacation, was like, oh, I should make a game about some pirate that lives in the West Indies or whatever the fuck. And that was his inspiration for fucking Monkey Island or whatever. So it's a total white guy perspective of the islands, which is totally fucking wrong. And wildly inaccurate. Some of the fucking worst accents that I've ever fucking heard. Bruh. The voodoo people, anyone who does voodoo in a Monkey Island game, straight up offensive, just straight up trying to sound like Miss Cleo. Terrible accent. Probably not even a person from the islands that they get to do that shit. That always annoys me when they don't get someone from the islands to give you an island accent. Like, all right, I'm going to digress for a second. There's this show on Netflix that you should all watch. It's called Bruno. I think it's just called Bruno. Oh, It's Bruno. No, it's called It's Bruno. And it's about a dude in New York who has a dog named Bruno. And that's all you need to know. It's a funny show. You should check it out. Shit's dope. In that show, the main character gets into a relationship with a Trinidadian woman. And they definitely got a real Trinidadian woman to star in this role. Her accent was on point. Even if she was born in New York and her parents were Trinidadian, that's still closer than anything they ever did on Monkey Island. Her accent, her look, everything matched up perfectly. I saw her, the first time I saw her, I was like, that's a Trini. That is a Trini. And then she opened her mouth, I was like, yep, there you go. Because we look a certain way, we move a certain way, we suave with it in a certain way, and we all beautiful. Most of us, anyway. But yeah, like, the voice acting is, for the most part, is really good in the Monkey Island games because it's a story-based game. The voice acting has to be good. But the island fucking characters, the people who supposedly live on these islands, some horrible ass shit. Some horrible ass shit. Elaine Marley. Really? 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 Junior Gong should come and fuck with y'all, for real. Oh shit, I decided to go down a little rabbit hole digging into who developed Monkey Island and shit. And there was this dude, Ron Gilbert, who was originally at LucasArts and did a bunch of cool shit. Helped develop the Scum engine, which is what powered a bunch of games from LucasArts. And he's kind of an OG dude in the gaming industry. But I see here on this Wikipedia page that on April 4th, 2022, Gilbert oh my God, can't read. Gilbert announced on his Twitter account that he'd been working on Return to Monkey Island for the past 2 years in complete secrecy. So there might be a new Monkey Island on the way, which makes this whole fucking conversation completely relevant. Because Ron, Gilly Bud, if you don't find some real fucking Jamaican and island people, wherever the fuck you base your fucking game this time, if you don't get authentic fucking people to voice those characters, I'm gonna find you. And you know what, Ron? I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to be really disappointed in you. Is that enough? Greasy's going to be super disappointed. You don't want Uncle Greasy disappointed in you. I will be really disappointed in you if you don't just look outside. There's probably island people walking around the streets of wherever you live. You know what I mean? Just ask one of them to do it. Okay? Try this time. Try a little harder, Ron. When you make Return to Monkey Island. Do it for me. Do it for Greasy. Shit, I'll even voice a character for you if you want. Yeah, I'll come through and do a pirate. Do a skeleton. I'll voice a skeleton. I'll voice a fucking parrot or some shit. Yeah, big deal. Hit me up, Ron. I'm here if you need me. I got a listener comment this week. Homie writes in and asks, very short question. Street Fighter 6, dog. What you saying? Yeah or meh? I mean, it's hard for me to say meh about a Street Fighter game. Street Fighter is it's sort of, you can't besmirch Street Fighter. There hasn't been a shitty Street Fighter game since like when they tried to do the Virtual Fighter thing. That was the last shitty Street Fighter game, I think. It's just hard to fuck up Street Fighter nowadays. From what I've seen of Street Fighter 6, I mean, I love Street Fighter. I play that shit a lot. I can't even fuck with half of the people I know. I used to fuck with people back in the day. Ken was my dude. Guile was my dude. Blanco was my dude. I would fuck you up. But now, with all these cancels and all this crazy shit, I can't keep up. But that shit, look, I mean, all right, I'll say this. The regular match stuff, like the old school Street Fighter trope of like Ryu versus Chun-Li, that shit look flames. Love the new visual style. The models are like more realistic, less cartoony than 4 and 5 was. The visual effects when you smack somebody are mad cool. It also feels less, it feels less cartoony in general. Like all the impact stuff is less graphic and more realistic. So I like that, but they're still using a lot of the graphic effects. So like sort of splashes of paint when you do a super, or like the graffiti style stuff that they're doing when you do cancels or whatever the new moves are. All that shit looks amazing. Ryu with a beard, I'm loving that. Guile, they brought back Guile. He has a beard as well. He looks like a fucking monster. The shit looks dope. Chun-Li's back. Shit look fire, and a bunch of new characters. That's cool. I'm psyched for that. The open world thing where you create a character and then you're like running around the city. I don't know, doing some stuff. All I saw was climbing ladders and shit. But I assume you fight your way up and you build this character as a Street Fighter. That intrigues me. I won't say it blows me away, but it's a pretty interesting take. You've never seen that happen in Street Fighter, and it's something I think I thought of years, like decades ago. With Street Fighter 3, I'd be like, man, it would be cool if it was like an open world and you had to go find people to fight. So they're finally there. It looks great, but I that's a wait and see scenario. You know what I mean? I don't know how this whole character creator quest thing is gonna work. We'll see. It's only a small part of the game. You could still get your regular Street Fighter on if you want to, so it's probably not a bad thing. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I can't wait to get my ass kicked in Street Fighter 6. Let's go.
Medicate, meditate.
Gratitude time. Dig deep. Think hard. What are you grateful for this week, this month, today? You might think nothing, but that list can get long if you just give it some thought. What am I grateful for this week? I'm grateful for my upcoming break on the podcast. I'm going to get into some other shit. I got this new, all right. Second thing I'm grateful for is my new Poly N Play. Ooh, if you don't know what that is, look it up. It's like a producer nerd's wet dream. And I am loving every minute of it. So I'm grateful for that. 3, I'm grateful that my son is finally well again. I know it won't last long, but this last one was brutal. I'm just glad he's himself again, man. Whew. 4, speaking of, I'm grateful for my fucking mama. Because now I understand all the work she put in to keep my ass alive. And I'm still here. So I'm incredibly grateful to my mama for that. And guess what? My mama came from Trinidad, which is the 5th thing I'm grateful for, is my Trinidadian heritage. I wouldn't be who I am without that shit. And I never want to leave that shit behind. No matter how American I get, I'm never leaving that shit behind. Greasy got that gratitude. All right, y'all. It's the end of the show. We've done it. We've reached the middle point of season 2 of Greasy Says. I'm gonna be gone for a while. I'll still hit y'all with a few updates here and there. You know what I mean? You never know. You might see a surprise podcast just pop up if I have some thoughts about something and I have the time to record it. Wow, I'm burping a lot. Thank you so much for listening. I love all of my greasy people out there. I love you specifically. Yes, you. Yeah, with the thing and that look on your face. I love you. Like, subscribe, all that shit. You know what Brian Simpson said? That shit's stupid. And now it's got me rethinking that shit is totally stupid. Like, who the fuck doesn't know to subscribe and like and share if they like and share, like, want to share something? And if they're super into you, they're gonna subscribe. But like, there's another school of thought where you do that, you just advertise that and you repeat that thing and it gets into people's brains and they eventually do it. I'm not convinced either way. But remember to like, subscribe. Wait, let me do it right. Let me do it right as my last one.
Greasy people.
Thanks for coming out. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, give me feedback, or don't. Tell me to go fuck myself, or don't. And until next time, it's me, Greasy, and I'm checking out with the room key.
Laters.